Sending data.
Where to Hunt podcast. It's okay.
Hi, I'm Dan Small, host of Outdoor Wisconsin, and I listen to Where to Hunt.
Nah, it's okay.
I'm Kurt Geyer with Working Class Bow Hunter. I listen to Where to Hunt podcast, and it's decent.
It's all right.
Hey, this is Bud Fisher with Catching Deers, and I think the Where to Hunt podcast is all right.
It's all right. You look all right.
Whew.
How you feeling?
Better now.
Yeah?
Yeah. Better now. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Where to Hunt podcast. The podcast that connects public land hunting enthusiasts, a.k.a.
The okayest podcast
in the Midwest.
in the Midwest.
Got to get that part in there.
Sorry.
Can't be
That's your line.
Yeah. And we're coming at you from the Okayest Hunter podcast studio. Look, if you haven't heard of the Okayest Hunter, well, you're probably like the best hunter ever.
Or you're living under a rock.
Yeah, I
Either
guess
way.
so. Everybody knows what that is. Look, go to www. Do I have to say that? No. Go to okayesthunter.com and take a look at stuff. Look, this is the antler cap I'm showing the camera. If you're listening, you can't see it, but it's just this puny little antler that we love that represents the Okayest Hunter.
Nothing wrong with that.
You can enter in code W2H podcast and save yourself 10%. And know that when you buy something from their website, it goes to 2% for conservation. Booyah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, Greg, what's up, man? How are you doing?
All right. Can't complain. We're getting closer by the day.
Closer and closer and closer. And you got the HHA Sports t-shirt on. I can see the Tetra back there in the background.
Looks lovely on that bare bow of yours.
We'll do let's do a backwoods grind ad.
All right, do it.
Wake up and smell the coffee. Backwoods grind coffee, that is. Now, this ain't your fancy schmancy city boy coffee. This is what your grandpappy used to drink. And lucky enough for you loaf-around slack asses, they got a subscription service. Deliver any of their 6 blends right to your door, even a sampler. I like the Fireside blend, nice and dark. But they got something to suit every one of your tastes, light to dark and everything in between. Backwoods grind coffee for those who work hard and play harder. Take a look at your feet. Are you wearing Gumleaf USA boots? If you said no, you gotta reevaluate some things. Each pair is handmade and tested to take over 1 million flexes. These boots will take just about anything you can throw at them. Use promo code W2H2020 for 10% off your final purchase at gumleafusa.com.
So, okay, the backwoods grind thing, it'll happen, I promise. But it gives me an opportunity to talk about it more. So if you want to save 10% off of your subscription order where you can like have it show up at your door every month like we do, or just a single bag or a sampler pack, you can enter in code W2H podcast for 10% off.
Save money where you can. Sounds like we're in for an increase of 3%, 3 to 4% in groceries
And
this
we'll
year.
see
So
what happens. You got a thing to do.
I always have a thing to do. When isn't there a thing to do?
No, you're a pretty busy guy.
Well, I know.
Busy talking about that arrow right there.
Yeah, that Vector Custom Shop arrow that you got on your sweet bow over there. So if you're looking for a set of arrows custom built to your spec, look no further than Vector Custom Shop. Head on over to vectorcustomshop.com. You can try them out, so to speak. Try them before you buy them, sort of, by ordering a 2-pack of arrows. It's a test pack. You can play around with whatever weights you want and have them build you a test pack. Try them out, and once you figure out what you want to shoot, then you can go with a half dozen or a dozen just by heading on over to vectorcustomshop.com. When you go to checkout, use code WHERE2HUNT, and that should save you 10% off of Vector Custom Shop arrows.
Well, how about that?
Boom.
And this is where we'd normally say we have a guest, but we don't. So let's just turn the music up for a second.
You can wail on the air guitar.
I have another song on here. I think let's just. Ooh, that's our Vector song.
Is that our shot of the week song?
Yeah. I guess we'll take a second to just mention, if you don't know what the shot of the week is, you haven't listened to the podcast long enough. I mean, like the duration of an episode.
I got your shot of the week right here.
That is a good shot of the week. For those that don't know, if you're listening right now, this is a bullshit session today. We have no guests, so anybody watching live, it's your show. Call in. We want to hear from you.
Yeah.
But
meanwhile,
the shot of the week, I didn't. You distract me with bourbon, you son of a bitch.
well, you got shiny thing syndrome. I can't help it.
You really know me well. You just played right into that. Or I played right into it.
You played into it.
Jesus.
Caught you, man.
So
Line and sinker.
it's just sharing a story with us about a shot you've taken at an animal. That's it.
Yeah. Otherwise, you're gonna have to listen to one of my really sad and unfortunate shots. I don't know.
We're gonna do that.
Now,
We also have Tactic Talk. That's a thing.
yeah,
Running
it
that
is.
weekly.
Yeah, you're getting some good guys on there.
It's fun. We're getting real granular. We're gonna release one this week with Jacob Emery, talking about early season public land access.
Nice.
Trying to do it so it matches the season.
Yeah. Well, that's a good theme to go with. Seasonal.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
You know, we are seasonal.
that's true. What else? We're starting Rut Club Radio in less than a month in September.
September.
So, I mean, the Rut's obviously not in September, but we
No.
start to get stories. We want to build on it so when it actually takes off, we're not like, no one knows what the hell that is.
I think people know what it is by now. I would think.
Well, the people that know. If you don't know, now you know. Hunter.
Sure.
Am I oh yeah, memorable hunts. That's a thing. Just
That
talking
is a
about all the
thing.
shit we're doing right now, real quick. Usually I tack the stuff on at the very end of the episode, and I doubt anyone listens that long.
You never know.
We also do some stuff with eHunter. They do like a news segment, and then look at this cool shirt I'm wearing today, Deer Vein.
Yeah.
Our buddy Anthony Heller there in your neck of the woods, there, guy.
Yep.
He gives us some practical tips every week.
That's all right. We need that. Practical
So,
tips.
yeah.
Because we're not practical.
I'm not.
We know you're not.
I just told you I couldn't put a door in my house.
Yeah, we're going to have to work on that.
I mean, I did it. It's not working so great now.
No, it doesn't close real well. Kind
Smacked
of
in the
bites.
ass.
Yeah,
But it
bites
doesn't
you in the
always
ass.
do that. I
Yeah,
don't know what sometimes it's beautiful. Sometimes it's like, whoa, did I piss you off or what?
No, we'll have to look at the closer.
Oh, the closer. Well, coffee's for closers.
Yeah, well.
We
We know you've had enough of it today.
Usually I had some really strong coffee this morning. I didn't mean to brew it as strong as I did, but I laid it on thick.
Oh, attaboy.
Got up early, did the gym thing.
Hey, I got a question for you. What are you doing to prep for the season right now?
Well, I'm shooting my bow. I got some Vector Custom Shop arrows coming to the house tomorrow.
Very nice.
So I'll go from 2 to 6, I think, is what I'm getting.
Hopefully.
We got you helped me get the HHA Tetra on there, which is an upgrade from the HHA Optimizer.
Yep.
The difference there I love, by the way. I don't know if anybody knows what that is, but first of all, it's a single pin sight made here in Wisconsin. And
Both of them are.
Well, of course.
Yeah, both of them are. So they make...
Yeah, HHA is a brand, yes.
Right. But both models that you had, both HHA sights, were single pin,
yep.
adjustable sights. The other one was more of a pendulum style.
You had to undo something and then physically move it yourself.
You're moving the arm up and down. It's
Yep.
like a pendulum. This one here has got the Ninja Star on it. And once you figure out what you need for yardages with your arrows and your current setup, then you can kind of go through and find the tape that's right and then apply it onto the wheel.
And it's awesome.
Yeah. I love
Because now you
mine.
just turn the wheel and you're good to go. By the way, what's up, Dan Anderson, who's watching live? Jeff Genke, what's up? Greg Byers, I'm not sure if you're still there, but what's going on, everybody?
Mr. Anderson.
Mr. Anderson, Mr. Genke. Phone line's hot. Phone line's hot. Give us a call, 262-757-4122. If you're listening to the podcast version of this, you missed out. If you're watching, the phone might be ringing.
If you're
So,
watching.
back to your question.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just kind of doing what you're doing, getting my bow prepped as much as I can with the time that I got, shooting when I can. I probably could shoot in our basement. I got a long enough lane there.
You do have a long enough lane there.
Yeah. I could shoot into the garage and see how the neighbors react to that.
Well, we got away with it a few times, but you never know.
It was like the dead of winter. It was cold when we did it last. That was when Isaac with Vector was here.
Mm-hmm.
That was pretty cool.
Isaac and Michael were here.
That's right. What's up, Zebediah? You're on. You're on next week. You could be on tonight too if you want to call in. But yeah, and then other than that too, you and I hung a trail cam, and you checked a whole bunch of them that you had already hung.
Mm-hmm.
So you've been sending me some sweet photos every day.
Yeah. Well, we're in them now. We're in some cool photos. That's all we're in.
And most of them,
because photos don't kill them.
No, but they get you excited about killing them.
Well, yeah, they get you excited about killing them, but you got an idea of what's around for right now. But if we let those cameras roll and say we don't get back to them for a little while, it's really going to tell us what's going on in the future. You know, how deer are moving through that area throughout the season. And things do change. You know, that one area is going to be subject to dove hunting here real soon. And the other area is going to be subject to dog training. And eventually they're going to be releasing pheasants in all those areas. So things are going to get mixed up pretty good.
I'm excited. We do have a caller. Can you believe it?
Bring it.
Where's my little button here? Mr. Emery, you're live on the show. What's going on?
Does it say what I typed or what I said or?
Oh, I just noticed it right now. You're at the strip club? Is that what's happening? Should I tell your pregnant wife?
It said state your name and a topic you want to talk about. I was like, well, I've had a couple things on my mind lately.
Boy, we don't get paid enough for that.
Nah.
You freaking prankster.
You.
We just wrapped up, you and I, a little bit ago, but we won't touch on that one. We'll leave that one for later in the week. But how the hell are you doing, man?
I'm good, man. I actually got off the phone with you and went out and stood on my death sentence homemade DIY saddle platform and shot about 25 times, and I just got out of it.
Nice.
Wow.
You survived.
Shit. In that amount of time, all I did was do some video editing and crack a beer here with Greg. You're way more productive than me.
That video editing.
Yeah, it does.
It's time consuming. It's tedious. Ugh.
It is very time consuming. I made a little highlight clip of all my hunts, and I messed with it for 4 or 5 days changing stuff, and it's like 33 seconds long, and I bet I spent at least 7 hours working on it.
Oh man,
you're trying to jam all the good stuff in there.
It's like prepping for a fireworks show. You spend all this time buying, prepping, getting everything good to go, and then you light the fuse and you're done. That's it. All that prep.
Exactly.
Just gone. Burns like phosphorus.
Exactly.
Phosphorus. Is that what I'm thinking?
When does y'all season come up there?
Middle of September here.
My daughter's birthday.
When is your daughter's birthday?
September 12th.
Oh, we got it a little early this year.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Wow.
It's always around my birthday.
So I won't be in the woods that day.
About 5 days before the season comes in.
Yeah.
When does your season start? So I know you're in Indiana. You are hunting Kentucky and Tennessee. Where are you going first? And I know you got a baby right around the corner too. Not two. I don't have one. Just a birthday.
Wait, what are you not sharing with us?
Oh, look. Yeah, we actually went to the baby doctor today and found out that she is 3 centimeters dilated. So in the next, I would say 3 or 4 days, it's going to happen. Hopefully it's, tonight. That'd be great. But I kind of talked to her about it. It's like, well, honey, since, looks like baby's going to come a little early, it seems like I can go ahead and make that, early season hunt down there in Tennessee. And, well, maybe if you buy me that purse that I've been talking about, we'll see if you can make it. Like,
do
shit.
it.
Did you just went on Amazon right then and there and got it done, didn't you?
Yeah, exactly. So their season down there is starting August 28th.
Oh, wow.
And I am probably more excited about that hunt than any other hunt that I have planned this fall.
Yeah,
That's super early.
That'll be a
And
chance.
it's hot down there too.
Yeah, that'll be a chance at a velvet buck.
Oh. Well, the deer I killed down there last year was the biggest body deer I ever killed. He only, measured 97 inches worth of antlers, so he's nothing to talk about for the wall, but he was just massive.
Big body deer.
Yeah, I killed him on August 24th.
Wow.
That's super early.
Yep.
How is the drag on that frickin' hog?
Yeah. Well, I packed him out. The thing about those deer down there is where I was hunting is a chronic wasting disease zone. So you could use a muzzleloader last year, which I killed him with a muzzleloader. It's about 30 yards with open sights. And I actually had an EXO mountain gear pack last year, and there wasn't no way in hell I was dragging that thing out. I cut him up, quartered him, and packed him out. And next morning, had to take him to a taxidermist and have them remove the cape or the head. I didn't really save his cape, but had to remove all the brain matter from the skull plate for me to even take it home, and then had to take the remains to a freezer that they have conveniently located all over the place, fill out a form, and drop the head in this freezer bag, and they test it for chronic wasting disease.
Sure.
It's quite a hunt, dude.
Yep.
Wow. So yeah, you're itching for it. So as long as you have your kid, when's the latest you're going to be allowed to go?
Let me look at my calendar here. As long as he comes, in my opinion, as long as he comes before a week from now, I should be set, which I don't see her making it that long. I mean, she's had a little boy before, and she went exactly 3 weeks early last time, which is, we're right on the dot of that. So if she's a ticking time bomb like she was last time, we're going to be on our way to the hospital soon.
Good. Holy cow, man. Well, if we don't talk to you soon, congrats.
Yeah, man.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. Oh, and I found out today I got drawn for a Army base up here in Kentucky, Fort Knox. Got drawn for a quota hunt up there, so I'm pretty excited about that too.
You're gonna be
That's pretty cool.
Whitetail hunting fiend here soon.
That's good stuff.
As much as I can be, I guess.
The 28th, dude. I mean, like ours, that's like 2.5, 3 weeks before us.
2.5 weeks before us.
That's really
roughly.
I would give my left nut, like no joke, if they would open season that early here in Kentucky, because it seems like every year I've got a really nice deer pattern, got him on a freaking, hook and line, and just watch him every afternoon, and like 3 or 4 days before season, he gone. I don't know what he does. They just disappear into thin air.
Yeah, they move off. Either they get pressured by too many guys out scouting, looking around, or they know it's feeling like the air's changing and it's time to move off to a different place. It's funny how they know that.
That's why they.
Yep, that's why they get as big as they do.
Jacob, what saddle are you hunting out of?
When I was with the hunting grounds, I'm not going to lie, Trophy Line hooked us up, and they all sent a couple of us a saddle to try out. And I went down and hunted with the Southern Outdoorsman guys last year, Jacob Myers, and he literally taught me how to use a saddle the night before I shot that buck down there in a tree in a Popeye's chicken parking lot. And I was like, man, this is pretty neat. I'd only heard about him up till then. And I had my climber and everything with me. I was going to take down there. He's like, no, dude, I got an extra platform. I've got a saddle. You need to try it. And I was just amazed. I'm like, I hate to sound like one of the fanboys or whatever, but it's like, game changer,
Yeah, but if it works, it works. And for
that's right, exactly.
For hunting with a rifle or a muzzleloader, even a shotgun for that matter, you can use the tree as a rest. I mean, you can't ask for a better situation for gun, I don't think, unless you're hunting out of a big platform stand with a railing around it. You've got a nice steady rest there.
Right. Oh, yeah. Well, that I actually benefited from that last year.
Nice.
Using the tree, like you said.
That's pretty cool. I was just curious. We might be trying some of those out this year ourselves. So
Yeah.
maybe not that brand, but saddle nonetheless, and we're pretty jacked about it.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, I think they're. I'm not sure on the history of saddles, but I feel like they were one of the first people to come out with them, if not the first. I don't know, so don't quote me on that.
Yeah, between Trophy Line and New Tribe or Arrow Hunter, they were probably one of the first to come out, and then Tethered came out and really did a bunch of work and kind of made some changes, made them a bit more comfortable, and I guess that'll be debatable if you talk to different guys, of course, but there's a handful of other companies out there, that are being pretty diligent about keeping their eye on what saddle guys want. And we're going to start seeing more and more offerings.
I'm excited.
Yeah,
I'm excited to see more people get into the saddle game, because I'm not going to lie, some of these prices that they have are crazy. Like you're paying for something that's a quarter of the size of a tree stand for a platform, and you're paying more than you're paying for a freaking lock-on. You know, it's like, oh, my God.
When it's all said and
there
done,
ain't that much metal on that sucker,
Right. When it's all said and done, I mean, you're anywhere from, if you're going and buying a platform, it's 190 to, call it 200. I think Lone Wolf Custom Gears is like well north of 200, maybe 2.5, almost 3.
299.
Yeah, $299 for that platform.
Chunk of change.
That's a chunk of change, and then you got another $300 into a saddle and all the rest of the stuff, the bridge and everything else, carabiners and whatnot. So that's a lot of money into a saddle and platform.
But if you think of it like this, if you got a big lease or something like that you're hunting, or you pre-hang stands, it's like, you get a set of 20-foot climbing sticks, real heavy ones from Roll King or whatever, and you buy the big game or big dog, whatever it is, lock on. And I mean, you buy 7 of those, and I mean, you're looking at over $1,000.
Oh, for sure.
For something you got to keep going and moving, where you can, invest one time in sticks, a platform, and a saddle, and you might have $1,000 invested, but you can go anywhere. Like you can virtually hunt almost any tree.
Right, and the other
Anytime.
added benefit I feel is that's your safety harness too. You're not messing around and trying to make sure you remembered your safety harness, because you're wearing it.
Right.
Here we are, fanboying out
Have
on
you
freaking
guys
saddles.
seen any of the?
Go ahead.
I was going to ask you if you guys had seen any of the one stick method people that they climb the tree with one stick and an aider, hang off the side of the tree, move the stick up, lock it in place, put their foot in the aider, climb up the stick, hang off the side of the tree, and they keep doing it till they get to the desired hunting height. And of course, you've got your platform attached to your saddle, and they hang their platform, they climb up on it, and they hunt. And then, when they're done, they throw a rope around the tree and put a descender on the rope that goes all the way to the ground. Tie a small rope to that rope, and they drop all the way to the ground, freaking yank that one rope, and the whole thing just drops.
Mm-hmm.
I seen it the other day on YouTube, and I'm like, now that's freaking cool.
Yeah, and some guys will wear the spikes. I got a buddy that's a tree trimmer for the power company, and I watch him go up stuff, with one rope, no sticks, nothing. It's like, oh, okay. So yeah, I mean, that's another level of dedication to trying to be as simplistic as possible. It's crazy.
Absolutely.
Well, shit, man. Thanks
guys,
for
I'm gonna jump off here.
Thanks for calling in.
Thanks for calling.
For me, so.
Go give birth
bud.
tonight, man. We'll
Good
talk to you
talking
later.
guys again.
All right, man. We'll talk to you.
All right.
Bye.
It does say he wanted to talk about the strip club. I didn't notice until he
Leave
said
it to
something. I
Jacob.
was like, look at that.
Leave it to Jacob.
That's great.
So yeah,
The saddle stuff has got me excited. I just like learning and trying new stuff.
Right.
That's a big part of it for me.
there's
It's a new
learning and
tool.
trying new stuff, but
Even the
You
HHA
hate
and the
to-
vector, like all of it.
there's some points in the year though too where you look at it, go, boy, it wouldn't be a smart thing to do to jump horses mid race.
Right. So the
You
fact that
know?
we're getting in beforehand.
Possibly.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see. I'm ready to toss my lone wolf and sticks right up the tree. I can do that.
You're good to go. Yeah, you're all
I'm
set.
pretty proficient with it. I'm confident in that set, so no big deal there. All my stuff's ready to roll anytime I need it. Grab it off the pegboard in the garage and run with it.
By the way, Jose says, "What's up, guys?" And we say, "What's up?"
Jose.
He said he just got home from cleaning up from the wicked storm that they got there in Iowa.
Iowa got hammered. Yep. Jose
Like, they said the straight winds were as bad as a hurricane, just a storm without an eye, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So that's nuts, man.
No tornado, but there's stuff that's weird stuff that happened. There's trees that are tore out, but then there's like little garden ornaments that are sitting there, never touched, never even harmed.
Mm-hmm.
But the big 100-year-old oak tree right next to him is turned up by its roots. Go figure.
Interesting. He says he's got a couple giants showed up on his cameras. That's exciting. Are they walking during the day? You know, you could, if you have a chance, Jose, you can give us a call too. We can just chat with you that way too. And by the way, the phone lines are hot. The phone line's hot.
They're open.
It's open.
Open for business.
113 mile per hour winds, he said.
Yikes.
I mean, we had a storm blow through here. Man,
we caught the weekend of that, so all the heavy stuff was to the south of us, probably by 30 miles or more. That whole storm system came rolling right through the north side of Iowa. Well, might even been more than that, but we just got a small dose of it. We didn't hardly get anything.
Which I'm thankful
20
for.
minutes south of here, they got
Racine got pretty bad.
Yeah, I mean they got 5 or 6 inches of rain. We got a half an inch.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
Man, Mother Nature, huh?
Well, she doesn't take her pills.
All that blowdown though, that's talk about like clear cuts and stuff like that, and what that does for the vegetation for the deer habitat.
Oh, that just rearranged the entire habitat.
We went to Governor Dodge State Park with Holly before we got married. We were still dating, and we went camping there, and there's something that had blown through recently. Back then, when Walker was still in office here in Wisconsin, him and the Secret Service cars were driving up to assess the damage.
Mm-hmm.
And we got there, and the person at the attendant at the camp, they're like, "That's just the governor." I was like, "Wait, what?" It was like 6 Suburbans or something like that, black ones, and I was like, "Oh man!" So we ended up putzing around in the woods, and it was just like giant trees, snap like toothpicks.
Right.
The paths that were meant for hiking trails that we're gonna do, we couldn't even get back there. Couldn't find them, didn't know where anything was. Got some photos of it. It's pretty intense.
What year was that?
Would have been 2014 maybe.
Yep.
20,
Because I think that's the same year the tornado went through Eagle. Came right out of the.
Yeah, that was a bad one too.
Yeah. Or right around that. And I remember going and fixing air conditioners. There were air conditioners that were pulled off their pad and tossed against the house and laying on their side, still attached to the line sets, and had to recover all of them and turn them back on their sides and remount them. Some of them I just ended up replacing because they were so beat up. Snapped off venting, all sorts of crazy stuff. Yeah, Mother Nature's not nice to things.
Not at all. She can't be. She can be, but she's not. When that happens, that's rough.
Right.
So what else are you doing if we're just talking season prep, like what are you excited about the most?
Well, it's easy to get excited about the trail cam pictures I'm getting on my cameras, right? But I run into this every year. I get pictures of deer, and there's some dandies, but I don't leave my cameras up for real long. I usually take them down before season because I'm always worried about them getting stolen. Some of them I do lock to trees, and some of them I'm getting better about hiding them in different places. So not too often do I place cameras in the same spot all the time, just because I'm trying to figure out a certain piece. But I'm just excited to be able to go. I'm excited that this year I don't have to pass on anything. Last year with selling our house and moving conveniently and probably the worst time during deer season, right at the end of October, and then finally getting settled into our house the week before gun season, it really put a damper on things. But, like I told you, my second night out, I passed on a really nice 8-pointer, probably 120-inch 8-pointer. And it was the night that we got the phone call from the realtor that I was literally on my way down the path of the public with my buddy. My phone blows up in my pocket. It's the realtor telling me that We have an accepted offer on the house. There's no contingencies. It's time to roll. No sooner did I hang up with her, my wife had called me and said she had also heard from the realtor. So the realtor called her first and said, honey, you better not shoot anything tonight. I'm like, oh, yeah, you can't shoot anything tonight because we gotta get moving. We gotta move. I like to butcher my own deer. So I was like, well, okay, I guess. I don't know if it's a really nice deer. I really don't want to pass on it. Well, short story here. We're in the stands. Buddy's on one end of the marsh. I'm on the other end. He's texting me, see that deer? Yup, I see the deer. Saw a deer out there, out in the cattails. 10 minutes later, there's another one that's bigger. I don't see it. And just as I go to respond, I hear kaplutch, kaplutch, kaplutch. I hear it coming. And I look right around these cedars. There's some cedars that were growing on the edge of these cattails. And there he is. He shows up. He's past the ears. He's got real long G2s. The rest of him's kind of short. His brow tines aren't real big, but he's a nice deer. And I looked and I thought, and I got my bow off the hanger and I'm ready. He's coming closer. And he stops at about 18 yards and he turns broadside. He's kind of looking around. I hook my release on. I go to pull back. And then I think about it. He's not bigger than the last one I got. I really don't want to shoot him. Or do I? And he looks my direction, towards my tree, and then he looks up, straight up at me. Oh, I picked a tree that didn't have a whole lot of green on it.
You got silhouetted.
I think I got silhouetted. He didn't blow. He didn't lift his tail and run off. He just kind of sidestepped back onto his trail and started trotting back the other direction, back towards the cattails. But I could have pasted him pretty easily. But I didn't because my wife had asked me not to.
Yeah, but when do husbands ever listen to their wives? I mean, I say I'm not doing my job unless I'm annoying her. She tells me usually 4 times a day.
I do plenty of other stuff to annoy her.
Me.
I do enough stuff to annoy her the way it is, I'm sure.
Like, he walked into my arrow. I let it fly, and then I turn, and then he actually ran into it.
Yeah.
Could have.
No, I let him walk. So.
The one that got away.
Well, and that's okay. And then I hunted another piece and saw several other deer and could have shot those too, but they weren't what I wanted to shoot. You know, I've got different goals than you would or anybody else would. And don't let anybody tell you, what you should or shouldn't do.
It's my tag. I'll do what I want with it.
That's right. If it's your tag, you're going to do what you want with it.
I should have worn my shirt. Never pass. Never pass on whatever the hell makes you happy.
Yeah. Shoot what you want to shoot. I mean, I have intentions of shooting a doe for some good freezer meat.
Mm-hmm. You want to get that doe first, right? I mean, that's usually
I'm going to get the doe.
Honestly, unless you see something that's like a shooter buck, right?
I've got a pretty good idea where I can go and harvest the doe and be pretty unintrusive with a buck. If I got really good intel on a buck, I'm probably going to go chase that buck first. I
wonder if you have an answer to this question that has been burning at me for some time now. And maybe it'll turn into tactic talk. Maybe you and I just do one, or maybe you just answer the question now and you tell me what you got. But it's often been said that people ought to, if you go where the does are, the bucks will show up. And that's rut hunting to some degree.
Yeah.
I've heard that. What truth is there to that? Have you ever there's a bunch of does here. The bucks might come cruising along, scent check them and whatever, right?
My experience has been doe bedding areas you're going to see mostly does from opening weekend on. It's not to say a buck won't be in there hiding out because the does are good watchdogs. Mm-hmm. They can blow the whistle at any time.
I've literally seen bucks hang back and watch does
all the time.
And if they're looking at something, they don't really
I've seen that. I mean, I've seen that not just in the public land marshes, but when I hunted Shaniqua also.
Yep.
It's like hunting park deer.
Yep.
You still see it. Whitetail behavior is whitetail behavior.
Sure. They're using them to their advantage.
They're still using them to their advantage.
Go ahead, guinea pig. Go ahead.
So the bucks are smart. They, the older mature bucks are smart. They're going to hang back and they're going to watch the show happen as it does. my experiences just said that if you got a lot of does around, chances are you're gonna have a good chance of shooting a doe. Mature buck, probably not so much during the early season. During the rut, that last few days of October into November, doe bedding areas are going to be pretty hot. Because that piece I had in Shaniqua, there was always does there. And it was kind of crazy because I wouldn't see much of any bucks like early season. I had one year I did have a pretty nice 10-pointer, you know, and conveniently he waited for the does to come out, and then the wind picked up and he circled around and came on the downwind side, and he stayed, you know, 50, 60 yards away up the ridge and wanted nothing to do with coming down, but the does were right underneath me. So I ended up taking a doe.
So that's more of a rut tactic.
Yeah, it's more of a rut tactic.
If they're all hot and unbothered and feisty or whatever, if you get on the does, you might have a good chance of seeing something come through, checking them out.
Yeah, I mean, but I'm sure there's more experienced guys out there, guys that have had.
Now, if you're sorry, dude, if you're hunting for doe, damn it, like if you're just hunting for a meat doe, or an eater doe, are you following like buck bedding tactics for that? What are you doing?
Food, man.
Just get by the food.
If you put your time in and find out where the does like to bed, it's usually in pretty close proximity to the food and a water source, maybe even. I mean, this time of year, they don't necessarily need a ton of water, do they? Because all the green mass that they're eating,
it's got plenty of
moisture in it. So, I mean, yeah, they'll need a drink, but the green stuff is going to keep them hydrated.
Go figure.
So
that makes sense, right? If you put a bunch of leaves in a juicer, you're drinking.
You're drinking.
Someone, I forget who it was, one of our listeners actually had messaged us and asking how to hunt a mature doe. And mainly, I think it's because he had a vendetta against the mature doe for blowing at him all the time. He's like, I want to take this. I want to take her out.
Find out what she likes to eat.
I was watching the Hunt in Public. I finally had I've just been turning. I don't have anything else to turn on TV. I don't know what to put on the TV, so I just Hunt in Public on YouTube. It's like right there all the time, right?
I got one for you. Benelli. It's Benelli's YouTube page. The Benelli, the shotgun maker, rifle maker.
Yep. Everybody's dog's name.
Yeah.
Come here, Benelli.
Go check that out. And Donnie Vincent's.
The Winds of Adak.
Winds of Adak.
I caught a little bit of it. It looks pretty epic. I was looking at I was trying to find like just some education, but I think it was Zach Fehrenbaugh who had said, look, if you're looking at a map, right, you want to see a lot of color. Because if you go to the salad bar, and I think this was Aaron Warburton talking, he's like, if you go to the salad bar as a human, you're not seeing a bunch of freaking spinach. You're going to throw some croutons on there, some sunflower seeds, you know, a couple other types of lettuce, some carrots, some olives, some whatever the hell you're going to do with it. You want some diversity in your diet.
And that's what they have right now.
Right.
It's a salad bar.
So they're like, look at the freaking map. If you see this color here and that color there,
you put yourself in the middle of that stuff. You find some trails.
Hunt the salad bar of the land.
Right. I think it's a good tactic. I mean,
it's good advice, but it helps you think about like, well, you know, I'm looking at terrain features. I'm looking at water. I'm looking at funnels.
They're still going to use some terrain features. They're going to use edges, right? You look on any edge where there's a transition from willows to
they want to feel safe.
The grass. They're going to hug them willows. They're going to run along. Now, yeah, there are trails that are going through the middle of the grass, and if the grass is tall, like some of that stuff we walk through.
Oh, jeez, yeah.
They'll go
10 feet tall.
They'll go through that stuff all day long.
Sure.
They're bedded in there too.
Yep.
So it makes it tough.
Yep.
So you're just going to have to kind of pick something and go with it. Go with your gut.
I don't want to give too much away from the tactic talk, but you know, if you talked about this last time we talked about some of the deer, just everyone's hunting beans. Well, eventually those beans turn brown and they don't want it anymore.
I mean, by opening weekend, they're not going to be chewing on beans. The beans are going to be yellow.
You know, so like think about that for a second, because if there's a lot of hunters that are like, I've been seeing deer and bean fields, that's where I'm going. Now, you know that a lot of other hunters are going to be focused on those bean fields. But from an early season standpoint, if it is like an August thing, if you're in Tennessee or wherever the hell,
it's a good time.
Some of those deer might be bedding down in there, you know? So now you're thinking, well, where are they bedding? They're bedding right where they're eating. How do you deal with that?
Well, and honestly, I got on one of my trail cameras, I got a doe, I got a couple does and a buck. People that say, "I'll stay away from green corn during you know,
early
beginning of the season."
Right? Sure.
I got them on video, just mauling corn.
Mm-hmm.
They're picking the baby cobs. They're eating them. I got a doe that darn near lays down in front of the camera and eats it. Maybe not quite lays down, but she's eating select leaves off of each corn stalk. And there's corn stalks where they're clipped off waist high. The deer just clipped them right off.
Matt says, "What's up, guys?"
What's up, Matt?
Matt Galbraith, how's it going? Phone lines are hot. I want to be hearing more of the. Where's my ring sound again? Is it green?
And we are not.
I can't remember. I got it open here. I need to be hearing more of this.
That's not what your mother said, Trebek.
Suck it, Trebek. Don't hear nonsense. Anywho, we're kind of swaying here and there, but
yeah, we're down rabbit holes and wormholes.
It's not terrible rabbit holes. These are good rabbit holes. These are good topics. I want to know how about.
But like it's easy to get overwhelmed with this, right?
Maybe your goal for early season is to fill your freaking freezer because it's been a while since you've had some venison. You might have eaten it all.
I was stingy with mine. I still have some left. Not very much, but we're getting down there.
So I have venison brats left and maybe some steaks. I did venison brats. I did them a little bit differently this time, and they turned out much better than the last ones I had done. The last ones, I think I just overcooked them, so they were real dry, and like the flavor was just not there. So I don't know if there wasn't enough fat in them or whatever, however they got processed, but this time around they were much better.
And this will probably be the first year that I've ever taken venison to have brats made.
Did you have the hot dogs at deer camp last year?
Oh yeah, they were great.
Holy shit.
Those were excellent.
Talk about a freaking rabbit hole.
Yeah, here we are again.
Matt wants to know how the elk hunt planning is going. Matt, I think we're more or less officially decided we're going to do Wyoming. We got a good support system there.
Yeah, we've got a really good support system. We've got at least 3 different guys that are willing to help us out one way or another.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I mean, I got pretty excited with the last message I was reading about horses.
Yeah.
Although I don't want to fall down a freaking mountain. But, not to say that we need that. But we're that's what we're thinking. And then it sounds like they were saying do rifle. Or is that what I was getting from that? But that goes against what we maybe wanted to
in
do,
one
so
area, yeah. Those fellas said rifle because that would be us catching elk coming out of Yellowstone.
Yeah.
So they're migrating out of Yellowstone at that point, and we stand a good chance of getting something on the ground with rifle.
I really, truly would be happy with anything, but I do think I really want to experience what everyone's been talking about with the bow.
Yeah, so do I.
The bugling.
I would love to. But for a first-time hunt, and I know our buddies down at Elk Bros, he's like, man, the chances even still with a rifle are not what everybody makes it out to be.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, the only good thing there is I get 300 yards of chances.
Yeah.
Rather than 40 feet.
300, 400, 500. I know my rifle will poke out to 500 pretty easily.
I could probably,
The Ot6 will get it.
Yeah,
it won't have a ton of steam behind it.
I got the Nikon Monarch on mine. And I got it knowing that it could do that. Matt says he's going on his first Colorado elk hunt this year in September. So that's
for you, man.
Dude, September's like here.
Yeah, you got to be jacked. You got to be running around the house, blowing your bugle and practicing your cow call and driving your family crazy. I know I would be.
That's what I'm gonna be doing.
That's what it is with turkey season for me. I've got a diaphragm call, driving the dog nuts, making the neighbor's dog go nuts.
I had a buddy that used to do a duck calls.
Yeah, when I was like just getting into it, I remember driving down the highway in my work truck, practicing a duck call or practicing my goose call or whatever it was. Yeah, you get into it. It's one of those things that gets you jacked up, just like looking at trail cam photos or whatever. It's all fun. Any kind of hunting is fun. If your heart's really into it, just like the night before going on a salmon fishing trip.
Mm-hmm.
Sleep? No.
I'm going to be at your house at 2 a.m. What?
Yeah, I'm going to be at your house at 2 a.m. You better have your ass awake.
Dude, I ain't gone to bed yet.
Yeah. Wakey, eggs and bakey.
Holy cow. Mm-hmm. Where are we at here? We got like 15 minutes left. We might get a couple more callers here. Somebody said they had to finish dinner. I think that was Jose. Matt, if you want to call in and talk about your upcoming elk hunt, we'd love to hear about that for sure, considering what we're trying to do. We can learn from you here a little bit. I'm trying to think what the hell else I had. I want to ask you the doe question. I knew that. And you're hunting all public land this year. Are you doing any private land? Or
There's no private land for me.
No lease, no private, no.
Nope.
I might get access to public access to private to the conservancy program.
That'd be sweet.
We'll see.
It's still public as all get out because there's enough other guys running around out there.
Mm-hmm. I should probably email those guys and ask if the check cleared, so I know that they got it.
Honestly, I think we're going to see plenty of pressure on our public lands this year with the whole COVID thing. And
it's a good point.
And people aren't still all 100% back to work.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm not. I'm working a couple days a week from home and doing projects at work. If I pretty much got free reign to, well, if you feel you need to go in, just go in and do.
You
what
mean
you
go
gotta
into
do.
the woods? If you
Yeah,
feel you need to go hunting, Greg,
Yeah.
you just go do that.
No, because I got other projects to take care of with work. I got to be responsible with that. But, and then two, there's stuff to get done at home. Season's coming and the things aren't getting done. So time to nip it in the butt and get it done.
What do you got to do?
I got to put a garage door opener in. I got to clean the garage, which can be a feat in itself, but it's not too bad.
I rented one of those bagsters last time I cleaned my garage in spring. I got to do it again when it gets a little bit cooler. But.
Yeah, I got to call heavy pickup and make an arrangement to get rid of a couple things.
Mm-hmm.
What else? There's always plenty of things to do, and every time you think you're kind of, everything's good, something shits the bed, water heater dies in the house.
AC goes out, hottest day of the year.
You had the AC die. I'm pretty good there. Furnace and AC are in good shape. I keep up on that stuff. But the water heater's old.
You keep up on your AC and furnace?
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Would
you think I was serious? No shit, you do.
I am an HVAC guy by trade.
That's great. Jeff Genke, you gonna call in or what?
No, we just heard from him. He doesn't want to call in. He's too chicken. He's scared.
Tell him he said that.
I'm sure he can hear me.
Just in case he didn't. Did you hear that, Jeff?
Scared.
We gotta go shoot bows.
Yeah, he's
counting on me to tell him the schedule. It's gonna happen.
Jeff, from here on out, make sure you message Eric. Ask him when we can shoot bows, because it's all depending on his schedule and when he gets his butt in gear.
My butt's in gear. I just got to get in the car and drive over.
You're something. Well, and I take advantage of my little bit of time at home, and I probably shoot every morning before I leave for work, and when I'm home after work, I get a few rounds in.
Mm-hmm.
So,
my other house had a better setup for shooting bow. Like it was a little bit more secluded, had a little more space.
Yeah, I'm lucky.
I'd burn stuff during the day. Whatever I was burning, leaves, cardboard, whatever, and then I'd crack a beer and send a couple flying. And
sure. That's what I did
no
in my
big
old
deal.
house too. I had the neighbors, both neighbors had fences. I had no backyard neighbors here. I can't shoot outside without the cops being called, so I shoot in my basement, which still it's a nice long 20-yard basement. There it is.
Did you hear that, Jeff? He called you a chicken.
What are you, chicken? How's that for a
Must
sound
have the
effect?
wrong number. Sorry. Bye.
Yeah.
What are the odds? Oh boy. What's
going
up?
on?
What are you doing?
What am I doing? Listening to you guys ramble.
We're
Oh,
rambling.
we're good at rambling.
What's this? I've messaged Eric a million times. Hey, come on over. Let's go fishing. Come on over. Let's go shoot some bows. Oh, I can't. Come on, Eric.
I got these two kids here. It's just hard. It's
Bring
just
them with.
hard. I can bring
Bring 'em
I can bring
along.
one of them. Maybe I can
Yeah, I
bring
mean,
one of them.
yeah.
I can't bring both. That's like
Jeff's
impossible.
target doubles as a jungle gym. Don't you know that?
Here, boy.
We have a swing set, a slide. Jameson can take the mini bike and give them rides.
There you go.
There we go.
We got the paper tuning station all set up for you now.
Yeah, but if I start paper tuning, like how far am I from getting myself back together?
So here's the problem.
I got to dismantle everything and then
Here's the
then
problem.
lob arrows and then go from there.
Paper-
I'm already pretty on.
What do you mean?
Maybe I don't understand the process. Don't I gotta like take my fletchings off?
I'm going
and
to tell
shit?
you something about paper tuning, okay?
All right.
I built all my arrows, right?
Jameson's target boy.
Yeah, you and Jameson's target.
Jameson
bow.
ought to whoop your ass. Win a
He's going
competition.
to whoop everybody's ass. That's what Jeff is looking forward to, is us going over there and he's going to let his kids school us.
Mm-hmm. bad. But I don't care because I'm going to wear my OKS Hunter hat.
I'll be okay.
I got an out. I'm good.
I'm tapping out too. That kid's a sniper with a bow.
He just was outside and we were paper tuning his target bow. And then he said, something ain't right here. And I said, oh, let's look at your draw. So he draws his bow back and he's like, nope, it's not fitting like it did like a couple months ago.
That's because the kid grew.
And I said, yeah, that's because you just grew his draw. So we got in the car, went down to Whale's Tails, and I think his draw length since last fall, he grew enough where it was 1.25 inches longer now.
Wow. He's hitting a growth spurt.
Picked up.
So he's got to deal with human body parts in his equation. at least that's not a variable for us.
Wow.
Like my draw length ain't gonna
we
change.
Just took his hunting bow the other day, and I said, all right. He had a half dozen of fletched arrows ready, and then we had bought another half dozen that were bear shafts. So he shot all his bear shafts through the paper. We tuned everything up with his rest in like 15 minutes, got it shooting bullet holes. And then we took all of his fletched ones that were the same arrows and same length, and we just shot them through him, and then we'd turn the knock to the next fletching and then try that one and find the best out of the three, because he's shooting a 3 fletch. And they were all shooting bullet holes in another 15 minutes. So now when we go and go throw the fletchings on the other one, I just index them the right way to get the knock and the cock feather how I want it, and boom, boom, boom. And I did that to my bow a week and a half ago, and I was talking to Greg a lot about it.
Yeah, you were messaging me quite a bit.
Shoot broadheads 40 yards away. It's just dead on. I mean, it's dropping.
I still got to pick my broadheads.
Inch at 40 just because of the
yeah.
wind resistance.
You're going to have some drag. Broadheads typically will shoot heavy, so they will drop a bit.
Yeah.
Just for shits and gigs.
But this is the time to do all that stuff. You know, you're getting after it and
hell yeah, it's fun.
And testing everything out, and it is fun. It's a lot of fun, but it's a big rabbit hole, and you can drive yourself insane with paper tuning because maybe you're not getting some of the variables right. Like maybe your bow's off a little bit, or maybe you just got some arrows that aren't quite the right spine, or there's many different things. So it's amazing what fletchings will do to correct a lot of imperfections. That's all I'm going to say.
So, mine was kind of coming at the target a little cockeyed. It was drifting a little bit.
Yours was hitting at like a 30-degree angle. I couldn't believe it, even with feathers.
Yeah, so I don't know what. No, I mean like not 30 degrees now, but it is a little.
No, last year's were a little weird.
Well, I shoot those Twizzlers.
Yeah, you did shoot Twizzlers.
If I look at my arrows now compared to the Vector ones I got, it's like
the Vector's got way
it's
more
like
nose
I'm shooting
weight.
a feather over a dart.
Right. I mean, you're probably 10 to 14% FOC versus maybe 6 to 7% if you're lucky.
Yeah.
With the other ones. Anyway, Jeff.
My big light bulb moment was I was shooting with Jameson, and we were watching each other's faces really close. And it's amazing what if you put your nose on your string and you think you're just touching it, what just touching your nose on your string will do to your shot.
Yeah, facial pressure.
You don't even think you're touching it, but just touching it'll hair. Yep. That, and then how
you mean facial pressure.
So if you
use your release mechanism.
So you have your release, and you go and pull your say you pull your string, your whole everything into your cheek, and maybe touch your nose, or just even pulling the string to your cheek. That's going to cant things just a little bit.
Oh, so you're just going to steady yourself. Oh, so just send a good anchor.
Yeah, so
I always thought it was more about the repeatable process. Like if you touch, you got the muscle memory kicking in, so at least you got some consistency.
But you can still touch that thing.
Level the bow out a little better.
Yeah, when you're leveling the bow out, sometimes you cant it just a little bit.
Yeah.
And that string pulls into your cheek, and maybe that's.
So what do you think about that bubble? The bubble level.
I use it.
But like, if that's not right, is that gonna?
If that's not right,
I never know.
No, so
because I spend too much time dealing with that.
Out here. Mm-hmm. Turn one. Make sure you got even pressure across your palm. I mean, they've got videos on this. You can probably YouTube it, and it'll blow your mind. But have an even pressure on your riser, on your handle, not gripping and torquing. So that's one thing. You get it so
It's like throwing a punch. You don't actually make a fist, so you're ready to freaking
Right.
yeah, it's your mid swing.
So you have to make sure you're level here.
Yeah.
But then back here, you got another thing to worry about. You got to worry about getting your anchor
It's like
proper.
steering a freaking canoe.
Yep. And then you got to be able to see through that peep and into your
My
scope.
rubber peep.
Yep. With your sweet snap you in the eye peep.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got to make
right.
sure you're seeing your scope, and then putting the dot in the scope on
I
your
got all
target.
that, but like if that bubble ain't level, how bad is that impacting my
You'd
shot?
be surprised.
Okay.
At 20 yards,
That's what I
not
wanna know.
20 yards. It might not be much, but further out, that's when it's magnified.
Yeah.
It might be a half or an inch off at
Oh,
20.
of course, right? Yeah.
But out at 40, it might
Yeah.
be 4 inches off. So
So
that's
you
where,
talk about the wind.
yeah. Well, and then you got that factor too. So see, there's all these things that you can let rule your mind.
Yeah, or sticks, or your heart rate, or your whatever. Good.
Well, when you come over, we'll teach you how to torque tune. That's like if your
what'd you say?
grip is
You teach me
not
how to
up
torque
and
it?
you're really gripping it, and if you torque, if
Eric
you
likes to
torque
twerk.
left or torque tune right,
I'm just. I gotta get
He's
my
a
jokes in.
twerker.
big thing. Yeah.
Can you torque tune? Can you torque tune?
Yeah.
No, it'll be interesting to see all that
You
because
come
you
over
guys
and I'll put the
you
pro
guys-
on you, and he'll make you cry a little bit.
Greg will break in the Hubbleton.
and you guys really worked a lot with a coach. It sounded like too over the spring and summer.
Oh well, yeah. I mean, I just go and sit in on Jameson's classes when he shoots for his league stuff. I mean, those guys are all pros. There's like 3 different guys that are like expert shooters, and then I just sit there and watch them, and I kind of observe it. And then
Yeah.
when we shoot at home in the backyard, he kind of helps me and coaches me then. And it gets a
Whale
lot
tails
better
has
because
got
I
good
know
guys.
sometimes
Judge,
I'm
you're just
talking
sitting there going, better than that guy, better than that guy. I'm just kidding.
No, it's funny though, because the 14-year-old will sit here and watch hunting videos, or he'll watch like people shoot target competition, and he'll be like, "Yep, there's a puncher, and he's talking about like
What's a puncher?
if they have a wrist rocket.
Where you're, like,
if
jumping
you're
the
shooting
shot?
A wrist strap on your wrist.
Mm-hmm.
No, all you're doing is moving from your knuckle to your finger, the tip of your finger. And if you're actually shooting a wrist style strip release correctly, you're bending your whole finger over, and you're not moving your finger at all. You're pulling with your elbow backwards. And just that motion of pulling through the shot
Sounds
will make
more
you
complicated than shooting a
bazillion times
fucking
better
rifle.
shot.
It is more complicated than it can be.
Oh no! When you figure out these little things, you will be amazed at the accuracy that you will get.
Or it's going to throw what you did.
I was doing all this stuff.
It's
wrong.
gonna
mess
yeah.
things up before
it's
it
gonna
gets
mess
better.
shit up because you're
how it works.
right now
You're
we're dialed
deconstructing.
for our style, and as soon as you go changing your style, throw
It's
it all
just
out the
haywire.
window and start over.
Yep, and you gotta build it all up again. New muscle memory, blah blah blah. This is why I
This
don't want to
might
see
be
a
a bad
therapist.
thing.
I
I'm
like
just-
who I am. I don't want to see a therapist because they're gonna be like, let's talk about the past, and I'm gonna be like, great. I'm gonna have to dig all this shit up and make sense of it all over again. I don't want to do it. I like who I am. Let's just, you know what? Fuck that. I'm not coming over shooting my bow anymore.
Just buy a crossbow.
Yeah, screw it. I'm buying a crossbow.
I'm just gonna be a gun hunter from here on out.
Crossbow.
Oh
Jeez.
man.
Crossbow. Then you can knock tune your crossbow bolt.
Yeah, you can work on that too.
Those things are quick, man. You see the arrows fly over those things. They are moving. Holy crap.
50 yards easy of accuracy. It's pretty amazing.
What's the feet per second on a crossbow compared to a
It's
friggin'?
real.
It's
I don't
nuts.
know. It's nuts.
I mean, that arrow gets there quick. It's got it. Those things are loud. I mean, obviously it's not fast enough the speed of sound, but it's pretty fucking good.
Yeah, it's quick.
Woo! All right. Well, we'll do some arrow shooting.
Mm-hmm. We'll come over, get schooled, and
Yep.
told what we're doing wrong. And
By how old is how old
Bring
your
your
boy?
pocketbooks with.
16, 17?
I'm bringing pennies with. We're betting pennies.
What, Jameson?
Yeah.
Oh. I'll just sit back and watch.
Yeah. Yeah, you will.
Well, thanks for calling, Jeff. We'll talk to you soon.
Well, get it dialed in. It'll be here before you know it.
It's
Yeah, you
true.
got
It
it.
already is, man. It's about here now.
All right. Good luck, fellas.
All right, go
bud.
crack a
Talk
cold
to
one.
you.
See ya.
No excuses. Bye.
Bye-bye.
I need excuses. Come on. I gotta blame something. I shouldn't have that popcorn.
Yeah.
That's 8:00.
Yeah, 8 bells and
let's pull the cord on this thing here.
Yep.
Bring the plane in for a landing. Call it a day.
People get to listen to us ramble anymore. They might not want to listen to us anymore.
Yeah. Hey, by the way, before we end this thing, give us a freaking review if you haven't already. What are you waiting for?
Yeah, even if we suck, you just still got to tell us.
Tell us.
What do we got to do?
What do you want? Do you
maybe,
want more
maybe I need to be off the show. I don't know.
We need Greg to be by the microphone.
I am by the microphone.
Tell me what you think of this. If I turn this way down, can you hear yourself?
Check.
No?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I thought I was doing that wrong. Okay. Whatever. We're just messing around now.
All right. Well.
All right, everybody. That's the end of the show.
Yeah. Thanks for tuning in. We'll talk to you next week. We'll actually have a guest you might want to listen to.
Yep.
Okay.
Just like leaving you hanging. All right. We're going to live broadcast. Have a good night, everybody.
Peace.